What's up, everybody? You're listening to the Carolina Sports Update on IE Sports Radio. Your direct feed for all that is sports. Once again, we have got a great action-packed episode coming up. We've obviously got some great news to talk about in hockey. Not great, so great news to talk about with the Charlotte FC. Meanwhile, the rest of Carolina soccer teams had a really good weekend. We also got some spring sports to talk. Baseball, softball, tournaments galore are underway. So be sure to stick around, listen in, check out our sponsors getting ready to come up here. And when we get back to it, we will go into some deep dives on all your favorite teams here in the Carolinas.
IE Sports Radio fans, this show is brought to you by Planet Jerky Premium Brisket Beef Jerky. Planet Jerky is the official jerky of the 2022 California League champion Lake Elsinore Storm, single A affiliate of the San Diego Padres. This all brisket jerky has gluten-free options, contains no MSG, no sodium nitrate, is low in sugar, and high in protein. Go to their website at planetjerky.net and follow them on Instagram at Planet Jerky. Planet Jerky, the jerky that's on a whole other planet.
Rise and shine. It's 4 a.m. The stars are still out. The sun is beneath the horizon, but it's time to punch in and go to work. The comfort of your warm-ups turns into the grinding out of your reps as the clinking and the clinking of the plates create a symphony of euphoria. There's no other feeling like it. Earn it, burn it, and take what's yours. IE Sports Radio has proudly partnered with Vital Apparel, a brand that not only fits great, but also promotes and donates to mental health research. Use our code IESR to get 15% off their comfortable and inspiring gym wear and help them on their amazing journey to support mental health. Go hard, take part in your iron therapy, and be strong. Because when your mental health is as strong as you are, there's no telling how far you'll go.
Hey there, IE Sports Radio fans. Be sure to check out our sponsor, Seal the Deal Wax Seals by Cecilia B. You just finished your very own wedding or baby shower invitations and you're looking for that extra special touch? Maybe you just wrote a letter to a relative or a friend and you want to add to their smile when they receive it. Then seal the deal with Cecilia's handmade sealing wax stamps for your invitations, letters, and gifts. You bring the deal, we'll bring the seal. You can find them on Instagram at sealthedeal_wax stamps and on Facebook, Seal the Deal Wax Seals.
For the last 10 years, IE Sports Radio has been bringing you amazing content ranging from interviewing legendary athletes, coaches, and other authorized media personnel to building tailor-made shows dedicated to all major sports cities around the country. Make sure to follow us at IE Sports Radio on X, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube to keep up with the latest in sports and with all of our shows. Also, make sure to check out our daily updated website at iesportsradio.com. At iesportsradio.com, you can see our daily show schedule and check out all of our show pages with personal bios to learn a little bit more about each of our awesome hosts. In addition to our show pages, you can catch the iSports Radio blog, Hall of Fame, Fans of the Month page, and our merchandise shop including t-shirts, tank tops, caps, long sleeves, hoodies, and more. For now over a decade here at IE Sports Radio, we've continued to be by the fans, for the fans, and we thank you all for your support and for making IE Sports Radio your direct feed for all that is sports.
All right, welcome back, everybody. You are listening to the Carolina Sports Update. Be sure to once again go check out our sponsors. Thanks for sticking around, listening to them. That provides a lot of support. Especially be sure to check out that Vital Apparel. That's 15% off with code IESR. That's a nice little discount there, and they got some good threads. So be sure to check them out. And use our code. Let them know that we sent you while you're out and about on the interwebs, as we old folks like to say. Make sure you tune in. You go over to YouTube, check out IE Sports Radio on YouTube. Like and subscribe that channel. You can like and subscribe to the Carolina Sports Update as well over there. And when you do, just let them know that you heard about IE Sports from the Carolina Sports Update or from at UNC Navy. That's my handle there on Twitter or X. And just be sure to drop that in there. And that way you can start following along. And every time we get ready to go live here with the Sport Carolina Update, you will get notified about that and you'll be able to tune right in. And then if you have other teams, other sports, other passions, we've probably cover it. We've got people who cover soccer, racing, baseball, basketball, just like strictly sports. And then we also have a ton of regional hosts from New England to Southern California, Pac Northwest down here to Florida as well. So again, be sure get over to YouTube, check out IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that sports, and tune in for more episodes and some great coverage. All right, let's talk a little bit quickly about some Carolina Panthers. Not a whole lot this last week, unless you're really into and we get really excited and hyped up about the NFL schedule release. I know a lot of people are. A lot of people do. But first, next up on Carolina's schedule, before we talk about that, is OTAs. Will be kicking off the 27th of May. So we'll start getting organized team activities going, get everybody in the building, get the rookies matched up with the vets, and see how everybody starts gelling and coming together before they take a nice little break over the summer and work out on things on their own. Then after that, got a great schedule here. Actually, depending on, some people might look at the schedule and probably think it's a pretty easy one. I think it's probably going to be about middle of the road. I think some of the teams on here could be a little bit surprising, but overall, I think it's a fairly decent schedule, especially given how well Carolina finished at the end of the last season, some of the defensive moves that they made this season, and a couple of the offensive moves as well. So we'll do a quick once over for this. A couple of preseason games being held at Bank of America Stadium. The first one August 8th against the Browns. That should be pretty fun. And then the second one being their last game, August 21st, will be against the Pittsburgh Steelers. They will be on the road the weekend between August 26th at the Texans. So those 3 preseason games should be some good matchups to kind of see where they're at, get some things sorted out. Before they kick things off, week 1 will be September 7th in Jacksonville. I may try to go to that one. For those not tracking, I actually live in Tampa, or just outside Tampa in the burbs, and Jacksonville is only a few hours away. I know the Roaring Riot likes to come down and travel well, so I may try to link up with that. We'll see how things are going. And week 2, still on the road, September 14th will be against the Arizona Cardinals. Given the fact that's essentially a West Coast game, that'll be an afternoon game, late afternoon game, 4 p.m. For us East Coasters. And then finally, Carolina gets their home opener September 21st against the Atlanta Falcons. That should be a pretty good rematch from the end of last season, where Carolina finished out the season with a win against Atlanta. Also, if you're keeping tabs, interesting game to watch to see if Jalen Walker, who was the presumed number 8 pick to Carolina, but then was not, how he kind of responds to that quote unquote disrespect. So we'll see how that goes. I'm actually looking forward to seeing how that matchup goes. And then you put James Pierce Jr. on the other side from Atlanta, and that could get pretty interesting pretty quickly. I think through those first 3 games, we've really got a chance. It could be a little difficult, but we've got a chance to go 3-0 there. I think Jacksonville has got some good talent. I think they've got some good coaching now they got some good coaching there now, and then should be able to bring some new talent. Got Brandon Thomas, great wide receiver there. Bringing in Travis Hunter, also a really good 2-way player. And so that should be an interesting game. Pretty good challenge, but hopefully still working out some of the kinks in their system. And Carolina can take advantage of that. Game against Arizona, that could be a little bit harder. They're usually pretty good front end of the season type of team. And then you typically fall apart a little bit more towards the back end. But Carolina, with 1 or 2 exceptions, has actually held their own really well against Arizona. And again, that Atlanta game will be, I think, the toughest of the 3. Even though it's at Carolina, we always have trouble. But Penix Jr. should be coming together, getting his game into a group by then. So that's going to be a challenge. Our next up after that will be on the road to New England, September 28th, against Drake May. Kyle Williams, revamped offense, strengthened defense. So another challenging game, although hopefully with the new system and still try and feel their way out. But we're talking game 4 now, so they might have the kinks worked out. So that could be tough. Then the Miami Dolphins come to Carolina on October 5th. That should be, I think, a winnable game for sure. And then we once again host the Dallas Cowboys, this time October 12th. And so I think through the first 6 games here, probably got a pretty decent chance to go 4-2, but also a pretty good chance to go 2-4. But I'm going to hope for the best here and go for a 4-2 record coming out of this one. I think this will be our year. We can finally take a swipe at Dallas, kind of avenge those previous losses, especially when they kind of took over the stadium. And then get wins against Miami, Atlanta at home, Jacksonville, and then split the Arizona and New England games. So I think a good chance for 4-2 there. Then we keep on rolling. We head up to New York to play the Jets on October 19th. And then follow that up with coming back home to host the Bills on the 26th. And then back on the road again, heading out to Green Bay on November 2nd. So this is going to be a real challenging set of games. I think New York could be a little bit of a surprise this year. They got brought in a new group coach. Justin Fields could actually have a pretty decent shot at being a really capable quarterback in this system. And then when you pair him back up with, I think, Garrett Wilson, I think they had a little bit of time together. I think they had a year together at Ohio State. So you get those 2 guys back in that on the field together. That could be a pretty good duo. And he put Fields on the ground, and he can make a lot of things happen. So that could be a little bit of a challenge, but I think we could get the W there. Buffalo, definitely going to be a hard one, but if the way Carolina played Kansas City late last year is any indication, we should definitely give Buffalo a fight. And then that Green Bay game is going to be pretty tough, but is winnable. Jordan Love and that team up there, while good and have with plenty of talent, I think they could be a little bit inconsistent sometimes, and maybe Carolina can catch them on one of the more inconsistent games. But should be a good matchup of rookie wide receivers, first round wide receivers, Tetaro McMillan and Michael Golden. So that should be a good matchup too. And you follow that up with hosting the New Orleans Saints on November 9th. That is one I am probably almost certainly going to make. I am a ticket holder, so I've got tickets for it. I use the other tickets if things are going well to fund my travel up there. But that's also a really good weekend for Carolina UNC football. So I think I'm going to try to make a weekend of it and check out those two games. And then we're back on the road, back-to-back games, Atlanta, November 16th. And then Monday Night Football, November 24th in San Francisco. That's going to be a challenge. Just when you kind of take a look at the travel that's going to be involved, going into prime time again, and just going up against the San Francisco team that I think is going to be playing pretty hard and probably a little bit desperate. So it's winnable for sure. They are not the same San Francisco team they've been in the past, but still a good challenge. The Atlanta game, I think there's a chance there that at home Atlanta can probably get the better of Carolina. I think we can probably take New Orleans in Carolina. So over that next 6 games, I don't know. What do you think? I'm thinking probably 2, 3, maybe a 3-3 record over those 6 games. We'll just split them even. So that brings us up to 7-5. Hey, we're still winning record. I'm not completely pessimistic about this stuff. And then probably the last set of games, November 30th, we host Los Angeles. Then we finally get a very late bye on week 14, followed by a trip to New Orleans on December 14th. And we wrap up the last of our season with a week 16, December 21st, hosting the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and then hosting the Seattle Seahawks week 17. This one's still technically to be determined, but likely going to be a Sunday afternoon game on a Sunday. Just given unless Carolina's been playing really strong and really exciting, and Sam Darnold has the Seahawks in contention, this is likely going to be just a Sunday afternoon game. And then finally wrapping it up here in Tampa, another game I'm going to check out probably January 4th. Again, mid-afternoon. If it's a late afternoon, that's even better in my opinion for me. But we'll see how that one goes as well. So over that last stretch, you've got those 5 games, 2 against Tampa, Seattle, New Orleans, and Los Angeles. I think we can go 4-1 there. I think, hey, that's the potential to be 11-6. We'll see, guys. That's really optimistic there. We'll see how it goes. Tampa could trip us up. We could split with them. Maybe bring it back down to earth at 10-5 or 10-7. But hey, 11-6 would be all sorts of crazy good, wouldn't it? Yeah. Hey, great comment here by Taryn Rodriguez, chatting about week 1 battle of the Cats. There's a the Battle Cat sword of the NFL that goes around and gets passed around between Detroit, Jacksonville, Carolina, and Cincinnati. And whoever beats the team that currently has the sword claims it. I don't actually know who has it right now. It's probably it could be Detroit, but it's probably Cincinnati. I don't think Jacksonville or Carolina. I know Carolina doesn't have it. I don't think Jacksonville does, but um, there is like a little underground folklore there about that. And then another fun fact for Taryn, the last two times that Carolina opened up in Jacksonville and won, they went on to play in the Super Bowl. So, hey, if we get that opener against Jacksonville, get my 11-6 record, maybe probably get into the playoffs on that. This is a super weak division, really. Tampa, I think, is the only one who can really challenge that kind of record. We could be seeing the Panthers in the playoffs and maybe, possibly, get a nice surprise run to the Super Bowl. But we won't get that far ahead of ourselves. All right, let's switch things up. Talk a little bit here now about your favorite and there we go. Sorry. Everybody's favorite hockey team right now. And I do kind of mean everybody. I think a lot of people are going to start getting on board here real quick with the Carolina Hurricanes and following them through Stanley Cups, the Stanley Cup playoffs. They are now sitting at slight favorites, not only to win this Eastern Conference Championship, but actually to win the whole cup. So where do they find themselves now? They just took it to the Washington Capitals, defeating them 3-1 in DC. Talked about last time they could have, done the thing where you go up, you kind of give up that game at home to Washington. They've got their backs to the wall. They really need to win. And then come down for one more game at Carolina and taking the series there, win at home. But instead, Carolina just kind of decided to finish it off there. Close game, though. Got down to a minute 59 left before Carolina was able to score the go-ahead goal by always have troubles pronouncing his name. Svechnikov, getting that late goal to put them ahead 2-1, and then Carolina putting in the empty netter shortly after that with 26 seconds left in the game, completely sealed the deal. So really great series overall for the good guys, and really I think this series was all about just overwhelming force, to be perfectly honest. I talked a little bit about in the opening series against the Devils with Ricky Kay, keys to the series for that one. I talked about the penalty, kill, and power plays for the Hurricanes, but for this one, it really came down to just kind of overwhelming the opposition, in this case, with shots. So I went back. I think I got these added up right. I'm sure somebody else on some other site probably did a better job than me. But shots well in favor of Carolina. 147 shots to 95. That's just an incredible 52 extra shots on goal over those 5 games. Just insane. They did perform well on penalties. Power play goals, they outscored Washington 3-2. So 3 goals for them, 2 for Washington. And then, but when you consider the fact that, Carolina, if I get this right, they had 13 opportunities to Washington's 15. That gave Carolina a penalty kill rate of 86.7%. That's pretty good. And their own success rate in the power play was at 23%, so a quarter of the time. Would like to see that up just a little bit more to have a little bit more confidence going up against the Panthers, the Florida Panthers now. But still really good. And then one last set I looked at too was save rate. Carolina led that one as well, saving Yeah, 89. There we go. Sorry, I was having trouble reading my writing. Saving 89 of 95 shots for 93.6% save rate for Frederick Anderson. And then Washington, again, this goes to those overwhelming numbers. Had to save 134 shots to 147. They had more saves than Carolina had actual shots, or than they had shots of their own. So 134 to 140 of 147. That was a save rate of 91.1%. So slight edge to Carolina in the percentages, but with those kinds of numbers, that's what can do it for you and can help push that game over the edge. So next up for the Hurricanes will be the Florida Panthers. In this series, Carolina will actually be the host. They're the higher seed between the two. So they will actually host this series, which should be pretty exciting. Let's see if I can bring this up a little bit better. Our first game, as it says down there, will be the 20th, which is tomorrow night, 8 p.m. That's going to be on all the Turner, or most of the Turner channels there, TNT, True TV, Max. And then you go on from there. It'll be Thursday, again, at home in Carolina. And then on the road to Florida for 2 games, and then back to Carolina. So Panthers just coming off their series win against Toronto. It took them a little bit longer. Toronto was able to force Game 7 against them, but it was not a very competitive Game 7 as the Panthers really kind of broke the Maple Leafs with a 6-1 win there. So it's going to be a challenge coming up for the Hurricanes. We will kind of talk to it a little bit more after we get these first 3 games. Yeah, get these first 3 games under. We'll check back in, see how things are going. And then we'll on next week and see what we can expect going through for the rest of the series. All right, let's take a quick break here and listen to a couple show drops. And when we get back, we will start into some soccer fun.
Hello, sports fans. It's me, your boy Larry B, and I want to walk you through the world of sports. No, not just the mainstream major TV deal type sports, although those are important too. But let me be your guide through your journey of all sports, from college to the pros, the minors, and everything in between. Each week, we are talking sports galore with true diehards just like you from a hardcore fan's perspective that's sure to quench your thirst around leagues you may know all too well and some you may even discover here. That's right, sports fans. If you love sports of all kinds, enjoy hearing amazing sports stories, and respect all sports because you know how difficult any of them can be to play or compete in, then this is your show. Join me, your boy Larry B, on The Defining Moment each week here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports, and let the sports come to you.
Hockey fans, I'm Adam Kernick.
And I'm Zach Puplis.
Together, we are the newest version of Hockey Talk on IE Sports Radio, The Neutral Zone.
Zone.
We love hockey, but we also know it's not everyone's first sport. So we want to make this show as much for new fans as for the diehards.
Whether you can name all the Swedes on the 08 Red Wings Stanley Cup team, or if you can't tell if Varlamov is a goalie or the latest trendy vodka, we're here to help. With facts, figures, and outrageous fans. we bring you all the hard-hitting hockey news you can handle, while still keeping it fun and on the rails. Well, mostly.
So tune in every week as we go around the hockey world, from college to Canada, the minors and the majors, and everywhere in between.
So bring your cellies,
And your one-timers,
you wicked wristas.
and be sure to protect your five-hole.
Catch the Neutral Zone every week on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
We promise not to pick on the Arizona Coyotes every episode.
All right, everybody, welcome back. Yep, okay. Let's get into some Soccer Town. Did I spell that? Yeah, okay, I spelled that right. That's one of those words that doesn't look correct when you spell it out. All right, so first up, we'll talk a little Charlotte FC. After such a really, really promising start to the season, the FC, the Fortress, is certainly falling. Kind of caving in on itself here. It's getting worse and worse every week, in my opinion. That's last weekend, or this past week, no exception. So first up was a game against Orlando, right? On Wednesday night, which is a bit of an odd duck, weird scheduling. But let's see. Okay, sorry, things are jumping around on me. So we had Orlando hosting Charlotte and took a 3-1 victory there. I said not pretty at all. And yep. So sorry, just waiting for a couple of these things to come up. There we go. So Orlando got out early in this game. 2-0 within the first 24 minutes. First goal coming on the 8th minute. Charlotte did kind of finally fight back. Got a nice goal in the 34th minute. However, after that, Orlando pretty much controlled the game from there and finally sealed it for sure in the 82nd minute. So again, another disappointing game here for Charlotte. Let's see, their one goal coming from Wilfred Zaha. Really kind of, like we said, we were hoping to see at the beginning of the year. He has that great introduction match. When we started playing, had a lot of high hopes. I know I for sure did. And well, I think, let's see, I'll have to check. I don't think he leads the team in goals, but he's like second or third. Really, nope, he does lead the team in goals. Tied for 4 with 4 goals for first. Bada there as well, and then Pepio right behind him. So I don't know. I don't know how to take this. You would, I think, hope for a little bit more from him coming over. You know, he is a little bit older. On the back end of his Premier League days, but still, you really looking for that same energy that he brought at the beginning of the season. And then the defense that we had come to expect and really appreciate and enjoy, that kind of kept games really close. Doesn't seem to be there nearly as much. Again, giving up 3 goals to Orlando, and then Charlotte hosting the Chicago Fire this weekend, and giving up 4 goals to Chicago. It's just absolutely awful, while only scoring 1 themselves. So last time I mentioned, wanting to see Patrick Agyemang really get back into it. He is, that forward striker. I want to see more action from him, and he finally delivered for this match. Unfortunately, none of the rest of the team, not nearly as much. Charlotte in this match, despite kind of controlling the ball, controlling possession for a little bit over the majority of the time, 53%. Shots on goal, really wanting only 4 to Chicago's 10. And then those 10 shots, I mean, you let four of those 10 in, and that's just not great defense. Some faltering there from the goalie, and really not what you want to see from this team at this stage in the season. Because next up for them will be DC United. They will be playing, and this is going to be back to the U.S. Open Cup. This is going to be the round of 16 at this point. It's obviously the knockout stage, so another loss here. They're out of the Open Cup. We'd like to see them to continue on in that. More soccer is always more fun. So hopefully they can piece back together their defense, get back on the same page, and get that offense clicking again. Get Ajman Beal, who's been really quiet through these last few games, and get some more support from Zaha, and get a win against DC United. In their favor, DC United is towards the bottom of the standings right now. They have a 3-5-6 win, draw, and loss record to Charlotte's 6-1-7. It's, I think, really a little bit misleading when you read that record. You see the 6-1. You're like, oh, sweet, that's really good. But then you realize that 1 is a draw, and you've got 7 losses. You hope too that they could fight back into a lot of these matches and at least draw with these teams. These losses are just getting to be really bad. Right now, they used to enjoy, I think it was like a 6 or 8, plus 6 or 8 goal differential. They are now back to 0, having given up so many goals lately while scoring so few. So Charlotte's really got to get it back together. Dean Smith, always weird for me to say, Carolina guy to call another coach Dean Smith, but Dean Smith needs to get these boys back, get their heads back into it, get things going back in the right direction, get that defense clicking back again, and relight this fire under the the offense. All right, did I get that? No, I did not. There we go. Now I do. All right, so gold banners, gold colors are in. You know what that means. It's time for some USL Championship talk. All right, this is where things get fun again for those of us in the Carolinas, as all of our teams here have been played well over the weekend. North Carolina FC leading that charge here, winning 4-2 over the Oakland Roots. Let's see if I can pull up a couple of stats here, but overall, good game for them there. And then, oh, that was nice. Maybe I should go Charleston Battery first. No, things are good. All right. Let's see. Yep, here we go. Give me that. Give me that. Almost there. So sorry. North Carolina FC against the Oakland Roots. Great game here. Played at Wake Med Soccer Park there in Cary. North Carolina out to a really quick lead, scoring 2 goals in the first half. And then Oakland battling back a little bit, pulled within a goal at the 63rd minute. North Carolina responded 10 minutes later to go back up by 2. Then, just 7 minutes after that, 81st. Oakland, again, not quite done, not quite out of it. Came back in, put one away to draw back within 1, with plenty of time left to pull out the draw. But Carolina, in the 9th minute of stoppage time, was able to score the final goal of the match and make this a 4-2. More comfortable looking than it actually was victory. So great play by the fellas out there. And then you had in a little further south, the Charleston Battery playing San Antonio FC, and the Battery really taking it to in San Antonio 4-0. with one of those goals actually being a San Antonio own goal. But Battery got their first 2 goals or first 2 points in the first half. And the second half, continued to play well, scored pretty early, 58th minute, and then scored again late, right as time expired. Klein, who had just been substituted on in the 88th minute, was able to put one away for a goal to close out the match and have a relatively comfortable 4-0 victory there. For standings, that puts our 2 teams in pretty comfortable position. That's not what I wanted. I wanted the standings. Give me the standings. So the Batteries still sit right near the top. They used to be at the top, I think, but now are sitting at number 2. And then, nope, they are now back on top with 5 wins. It's weird. Okay, so Charleston Battery sitting on top. 7 wins to 2 losses, no ties. Previous 5 are all wins. They're followed up by Loudoun United and Louisville City. And then in 4th, you have North Carolina FC on a 3-game streak. So they're doing well too, sitting at 5-3 and with 2 draws. So both teams sitting well above the cut line to make the playoffs here toward the end of the season. But next up for them will now be, that's why I want to do that, May 31st. They will be playing back in the Jägermeister Cup. If you give me 2, that's not what I want to do. Give me 2 shakes there. Yep, and I should be able to. Sorry, give you a quick hit on who they were playing. I think, there we go, May. Sorry, I should have had that pulled up. That's my bad, folks. Charleston Battery will be teeing off against the Greenville Triumph. That's one of the USL 1 teams and one of our own teams. And then North Carolina FC will be up against, where'd you go? Saw you a minute ago. The Richmond Kickers. That's what I thought. We'll be playing at the Richmond Kickers, both on the 31st, and with Charleston kicking off at 6 p.m. and North Carolina kicking off at 7 p.m. So that should be a lot of fun. We'll be back into that tournament and ready to go with that. But speaking of USL 1, come on. Oh, come on. There we go. Let's talk a little US1. USL Championship. That's not right. That's not right. Let's go USL 1 instead. There we go. How's that? That's much better, huh? Charlotte Independence. Also with a great match. They took on 1 Knoxville SC with a 3-1 win there. Kind of really good back and forth game for this one. Charlotte got out early, 19th minute with a goal. Knoxville responded in the 37th minute, tied it all up. Went at halftime, came out with Charlotte dominating from there on, picking up a goal in the 51st, and then again closing it out in stoppage time, plus 6 minutes with a goal to really seal this and put away and keep Knoxville from pulling out the draw. So great job there by Charlotte Independence to get the win there. And then the Greenville Triumph. Yep, okay. Wait, why did I have 3-3? That was not a 3-3 win. That was a 2-2 win. So for some reason, I have that as 2-2. And that's why I pushed the wrong one. I had everything wrong here. Sorry, guys. I am not with it right at the moment. There's so much going on that I just cannot keep up. So there we go. There we go. Let's keep this right. All right. So Greenville Triumph SC with the 2-2 draw against AV Alta SC. So a good match here. Alta getting up early. Greenville coming back with 2 goals in the second half to go up by 1. But then Alta with a goal with 4 minutes left. 4-ish in the 86th minute to pull even and force the draw, denying Greenville some points and a goal differential. Greenville now doing fairly well, but overall, let's see. You've got Charlotte Independence here, also sit at the top of their league. Give us a moment, and we'll tell you exactly where. So they're sitting in number 2, right behind Spokane Velocity. They are on a 4-game win streak after a draw on April 11th against Forward Madison. And then Greenville Triumph also sitting just above the cutoff line. They have 2 draws in a row now, and they are actually sitting right above AV Alta, who they just played. So really great action going on here in USL Championship and 1 leagues. And really looking forward to a couple years from now when that becomes a promotion and relegation type of league. All right, so not done there, because next up, let's see if I can actually do this correctly this time. Probably not, but there. Yes, the North Carolina Ascent playing in Charlotte. They are dominating this league as of right now, and we hope this continues. But this past weekend, a tough matchup against the Tampa Bay Sun FC in Carolina, in Charlotte at the American Legion Memorial Stadium. Fought them to a 1-1 draw. We've already talked about this, but the Ascent already have clinched their playoff berth. But with this draw, now Tampa has clinched their playoff berth as well, and are sitting right behind the Ascent in the standings. So you got the Carolina Ascent sitting at number 1, Tampa Bay Sun sitting at number 2, and should be a pretty interesting couple of weeks for those teams going forward before they get into tournament time. Next up for North Carolina Ascent will be Brooklyn FC. They'll be playing on the 24th at 2 p.m. Brooklyn sitting right below the cut line. They are currently 10, 9, and 8, win, lose, draw, and probably looking really hard. We'll be playing really hard for that goal and for that win to get the points that they need to bump the Dallas Trinity out of that last playoff spot. All right, and to our final soccer matchup. I'll take it over to National Women's Soccer League and talk a little bit more about the North Carolina Courage. We also play same stadium as North Carolina FC. It was a delay. And as of late, have been playing really well. So they played their Orlando Pride as well last weekend. We talked about that. They played them to a draw. Before that, they had a nice win over the Utah Royals. And now playing the Chicago Stars, they got a nice 2-0 win there in Wake Med Park in Cary. So they are playing really well themselves. Kind of everything the Charlotte FC are not doing. It seems like the Courage are doing, getting that nice draw against Orlando, getting a win against Chicago. So seem to be almost like right on the same, taking on the same cities, but doing it just a little bit better. Speaking earlier of being right on the cut line for the playoffs, the Courage now are sitting just below the cut line. They've got 12 points. the Gotham FC's 12 points. They are perfectly average at 3-3-3, win, lose, and draw. Gotham 3-4-3 on their record. So really, just like razor thin between the two of them. Courage will be looking to get a good win coming up. Their next game, though, is against the San Diego Wave, the number 2 team in the standings. They are sitting at 5-2-2, so that's going to be a challenge. And it will be at San Diego, beautiful city. Lived there for about 5 years. That'll be a lot of fun for them. That will be the 25th. And given that it's the West Coast, it's going to be super late for us to tune in, but a 10 p.m. showing there. All right, that's all I've got for soccer. It was a lot. If you want more USL, National Women's Soccer League, MLS action, World Soccer, Premier League, you name it, be sure to check out Shin Pads and Shenanigans, once I can talk, with Jess here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. I am going to take a break, drink some water, and when we come back, we'll wrap it up with some NCAA and some minor league baseball.
What does he about on the head?
Hey, yo, what's good, Georgia? It's your boy ACS, and if you love sports from the Peach State as much as I do, then Georgia Sports Central is your one-stop destination for down south sports, courtesy of IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Are you a Yellow Jacket at heart, or do you bleed the red and black of the Bulldogs? Do you keep it true to Atlanta with Trae Young, Capella, and the boys? Do you rise up with the Dirty Birds on Sundays? Are you excited to see what the future holds for Michael Penix Jr., Bijan, and the rest of the Falcon squad? Do you live at 755 Battery Avenue? Do you rep for Albies, Acuna, and the rest of Braves country? If so, then let's get united every Wednesday for some Braves, Hawks, UGA, Georgia Tech, Atlanta Dream, Falcons, and more on Georgia Sports Central, only on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
It's IE Sports Radio. It is your direct feed for all that is sports. It is Philly Sports Talk with Cash and Chris every Tuesday night right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Philly Sports Talk with Cash and Chris is the most comprehensive view on Philadelphia sports exclusively right here on IE Sports Radio. You know what it is, your direct feed for all that is sports. Tuesday night, IE Sports Radio, Philly Sports Talk with Cash and Chris.
All right, everybody, welcome back. We are on green banners. That means it's time for some NCAA baseball and softball talk. So I am running short on time. I talked a little bit longer than I should have on some other stuff. So we'll try to recap this quickly into the season for NCAA baseball. And our final standings are North Carolina has moved up to number 3 from number 4. This is after a 2-1 series win against then number 2 Florida State. That dropped them to number 6. Wow. Carolina finishes this season 39-12, 18-11 overall, 3rd in the ACC. And that next up from them will be Coastal Carolina, right? Yep. Coastal Carolina holding steady at number 11. They had a 3-0 sweep of Old Dominion to finish off their season. Great record here, 44-11, 26-4 in the Sun Belt Conference, and number 1. Great season for them. Next up, Clemson crept up a spot from number 15 to number 14, following a 3-0 sweep of Pitt. They will finish the season 41-15, 18-12 in the ACC, which puts them at number 5. Yeah, number 5 in the ACC. Florida State will hold on to number 2, and NC State are next up, falling from number 13 to number 22. Still finishes the ACC at number 4, and with a record of, first off, 1-2 series loss to Stanford. That's what dropped them from 13 to 22. They finished with a record of 33-18 and an ACC record of 17-11. And then number 20 Duke, or previously number 20 Duke, takes a 1-2 series loss to Georgia Tech, unranked. However, because of scheduling and because things are weird, Georgia Tech sits at number 1 in the ACC despite not being ranked in the top 25. That's a little weird. Duke finishes the season 36-18, 17-13 in the ACC. And the ACC tournament is set to get underway. First round will be tomorrow, the 20th. But our top teams, North Carolina, NC State, both have a double bye in this tournament. So they will not have to play until the 22nd and 23rd. And we'll be taking on a couple of the winners of, it's got to play out when you got that double bye. But Carolina will be facing off against the winner of Virginia or Notre Dame, Boston College. So Boston College, Notre Dame face off first round. Then they'll go on to face Virginia. And the winner of that will face North Carolina in the quarterfinals. Duke gets a single bye. They're the number 7 seed, and they will face the winner of Pitt or Louisville. Clemson, as we just mentioned, got the number 5 seed. They will be getting a single bye and will face the winners of Virginia Tech or Stanford. And then whoever wins that game will go on to face NC State in the quarterfinals. And then finally, Wake Forest, number 8 seed. You had a pretty good start to the season, but kind of faded out over the course of it. We'll be facing off. We'll still got a single bye, though, and we'll be facing off against the winner of Cal or Miami. So some great action going on here, May 20th through 23rd. So we'll get that done. Let's see. And all the way through Saturday will be semifinals, and then championship Sunday on the 25th to crown the ACC champion. So a lot of great games there, a lot of good teams ready to play and face off against each other. Should be a pretty exciting time. Next up, we'll talk a little bit NCAA softball. They are already rolling in the NCAA tournament. Unfortunately for us, UNC Duke were both eliminated in the opening round of the tournament. UNC being ousted by my home state, Ohio State, dealing them their first loss, and the Miami of Ohio dealing them their second loss. And eventually Ohio State would go on to advance out of their group. Duke went down and in the first round as well, with Georgia advancing out of their group. However, South Carolina, who've been playing well all season, make it out of their group, out of Columbia, South Carolina, and will face UCLA Bruins. In the Super Regionals. And the winner of that will go on to the College Softball World Series. And then Clemson made out of their group as well. They will be facing off against Texas. with the winner of that one also going on into the College World Series. So we still got some teams in the fight for the NCAA and softball World Series there in Oklahoma City. So we'll be keeping an eye on that this week and follow up on the next episode with how that goes. And then finally, we've got one more hurrah on the diamond. Yep, on the diamond. Paste. There we go. That's not right. Yes, it is. Charlotte Knights with a pretty good series. They played the Gwinnett Stripers. Okay, in Georgia, split the series 3-3. That was on the road in Georgia. This next week they will be back home in Charlotte, hosting the Round Rock Express. Can't make this up. Minor league teams, a lot of fun. But they will be kicking off that series tomorrow night, 6:35. Some really cool, I've talked about before, some really cool nights going on there at the minor league ballpark. Always a lot of fun. Some good baseball. You get to see some good prospects play. Pretty cheap on the cheap, and you get some good fun nights. So tomorrow night, Taco Tuesday, will be taquitos in Tall Boys Tuesday. Wednesday, you get to bring your pup to the park. So if you're there in Charlotte, you want to spend 6:30 too. That is a nice time to go out and watch a ball game and just relax at the ballpark with your dog. Thirsty Thursday sounds fun, and then this weekend in particular, fireworks all weekend long, Friday through Sunday, in honor of the Memorial Day weekend. So great time to get out. Late spring. Temperatures all to be nice. I think I looked it up the other day. I think it's by evening supposed to be having like mid to upper 70s. Some nice weather. Come on, that's just like really good, really fun times to be out there playing. So, all right, I think that will basically do it. I do have a couple more little shout outs here. I want to make sure. Who beat Princeton in the second round? Quarterfinals. Yeah, beat Princeton in the quarterfinals of the women's lacrosse championship, 19-10. Carolina now will be going on to face number 4 Florida, who beat Duke 11-9 to finish short. That loss by Duke. They will face off. North Carolina will face off against Florida. That's going to be on the 23rd at 3 p.m. On the opposite side of the bracket, it's shaping up to be a nice rematch. Boston College, Northwestern are playing each other. The winner of that going on to face the winner of North Carolina, Florida. If all things play out nicely, we could have a rematch of North Carolina, Boston College. North Carolina owning that series so far this season. So we will be cheering for the Tar Heels going forward on that. And we'll be cheering for all of our Carolina teams going forward. Be sure to, like I said, check us out here on YouTube. Like, subscribe, get notified of our next episode, and I will catch you all later.